Welcome back to Salty Country. In this episode, I'm going to take down a flowering crabapple tree that's been a nuisance. It's right in the curve of our driveway, and the limbs keep growing out in the driveway, and I have to keep trimming them back. But I'll show you a little bit about these trees if you're not familiar with them. Here's a flowering crabapple limb. They have spikes everywhere. When you try to pull these limbs apart, they just get hung up on each other. They'll pull hydraulic hoses and all that kind of good stuff off of equipment. So anyway, right here in the curve of our driveway, the limbs keep growing out to the driveway, and I keep having to cut them back. So I'm going to see if I can get this thing taken out. I may have to go ahead and take the pine out with it. I've got a power line over here, so I don't really want to mess with the pine. But stick around. Let's see if we can get this flowering crabapple pain in the butt down. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get some of these limbs kind of broke and out of the way so they don't get caught in my hydraulic lines. These things are horrible, and they spread like wildfire. Ease in here and see if I can snap a couple more of these limbs down. There we go. All right, got one right here sticking out toward the driveway. Let's see if I can get it kind of pushed out of the way. See how those things just kind of stick in there? See if I can get this thing to come on out. Those thorns make them stick to everything. Let's see if I can get the... There we go, let's see. Let me get the thumb and grab this thing and get it out of the way. It's got a little scrub growing from the back side. It's got limbs on it too. All right, let's see. I'm going to see if I can get up here and pull this thing kind of toward me over to the right side. Let's see. Yeah, it's not wanting to do anything. See if I can push it. We'll have to get straightened up with it. The bad thing about trying to push this thing away from me is it'll get caught in those other trees, and it'll sure enough be a pain in the butt. But I'm going to try to get that root loosened up a little bit. I don't want to break them down too quick. Then I'll be down here in my hoses. Let's see if I can pluck up this sweet gum. I broke it off. Just got to be careful, don't get my hoses. Stick my teeth down in the ground and see if I can kind of loosen up around the roots of this thing. Alright, we're getting somewhere. The root's popping. So let's see if I can pull this thing back to me a little bit. Let's see if I can sneak in between this pine and get a tooth on it. See if it'll pull this way. Just take my time with it. Don't want it on top of me. So stickers will get me. Alright, let me reposition a little bit. See if I can back up and pull it at the same time. We'll try to get it kind of lay down toward the camera if possible. Take my time with it. The root ball's kind of breaking roots. See if I can ease it away from me. All right. Let me reposition the camera so I don't knock it over. All right. Let me back up a little bit, see if I can grab a hold of this thing. Do any good with a thumb. One thing about these trees, is they'll run a tractor tire. If you don't get all the limbs up and you run over one of them, it'll puncture a tire. See if I can get over these limbs right here and grab a hold of this thing. Alright, I'm about to do a little work on the root. We can knock some of these limbs out of the way. So they don't get in my hoses. Alright, let's ease up a little bit, see if we can get this root ball to pop. Being a little bit stubborn. Let me see if I can push it on around. Get that root to break a little bit more. There we go. Now let's see if we can get it to pop on out of there. No, not yet. Let me dig around that root a little bit. Alright, I got a tree stuck in me right here. I got up against the hose. Almost got it. Let's see if I can get this thing out of the way. Those other limbs, thorns keep holding on to that limb. Crazy thing about these trees is they'll come back up from the stinking roots. Just take my time and see if I can get it to pop loose. Moving a little bit. Let's see if it's going to pop on out of there. Looks like we're getting somewhere. Just keep a little pressure. Alright, it's starting to come out of there. Let's see if we can just keep easing on it. Get her to pop on out of there. There we go. Alright, let's see if I can grab this thing and get it out of the way without having a disaster. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get this thing carried to the burn pile. Made pretty good progress. Got that flowering crabapple painting the bud out. This section of woods right here along the side of the driveway, it's all going to come down at some point. I spoke to the Forestry Commission this morning. They changed how we do our burn pit permits now. If you have machine stacked trees or limbs or whatever, you have to dig a fire pit and have a blower and all that garbage in our county. So the lady told me that the way around it is I can just restack it. As long as you can hand stack it, then you can just burn it. So what I'm going to do is take the chainsaw and cut up some of these trees to where they can be managed by hand. And then I'll just reburn or burn those piles as a hand stack pile when I get them restacked. That's going to be all for this episode. I want to thank everyone for watching. We'll see you on the next one.